Hey, what is going on everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and this is Thrifty Gaming Pickups. I don't know which episode number we are on. Do you want to look? There you go. Anyways, this is me, Mr. Mario. This is my dog, Lily, right here. And this is a whole bunch of stuff that I ended up getting here recently. So, in case you do not know, Thrifty Gaming Pickups is a series that I do here on the second channel. Yes, I said second channel. So, if you're interested in something that is, a little more edited, more produced, perhaps even tutorial-based, really some more helpful stuff that's a lot less casual than this, feel free to look down below in the description. There's going to be a link to my main channel. But what I do here is I go through and really just show you all a lot of stuff that I've picked up at any given time. Normally it gets to be whenever I get a large haul or when I get a few small hauls to the point where I really need to, clean this up here and organize it, then I decide to record a video on it. So that's what we're doing here. And we're doing this for a few reasons. One, because I have several hauls here, and two, if things look a little bit different and maybe sound a little bit different, I'm actually using a new camera and I'm using a new microphone that I got, so I'm trying to break those in here. But without further ado, let's go ahead, sit down here with Lily. Hello, Lily. How's it going? How's it going, Lily? And let's go ahead and check out, what we have gotten here recently. So this is a mix of, big box stores, video game stores, and thrift stores. And I'll kind of just go from left to right. How about we do something like that? Right, Lily? How about we do something like that? All right, so let's go ahead and go here. So, as you can see, I kind of got a dog here. Excuse me, Lily. So one question for you all, actually. One question. Lily, move your butt. Move your butt. I want to see your face. There we go. I actually got this dog from a, I got her from a shelter a few years ago. So, did I technically thrift my dog or not? I don't know. Maybe somebody can answer that and get a proper answer. But anyways, first of all, this is not one of the first stores I went to. Like, it's not the first one, but it was a good store that I went to pick up a few things. And this is a pretty good haul, I would say. So first of all, this is a thrift shop that I normally like to go to, but I decided to grab columns for the Sega Genesis. Now, this store was doing a half-off deal on many of their things. And check this out. This is actually complete and everything as well too. I think it even has this. It wasn't cut off or anything, so end up grabbing this. Now this store, they just write down the price and the tag color, so to speak, in crayon. The reason why they do it is, one, the price is obvious, so it's, how much it's supposed to be, but two, normally with tags they might do something like, hey, everything this week is half off except for tan tags, so that would mean that this is not half off. Well, this was actually. So right here we got columns on the Genesis for $3. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare on the PS3 for $3. Deus Ex Human Revolution. This was supposed to be $4, well, $3.50, but I think they ended up charging me $3 for it. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on PS3 for $3. Scribblenauts Unlimited. This was cool. These were the first Wii U pickups that I've done from a thrift store. So it's not the first time I've ever seen Wii U games, but they were my first Wii U pickups. Right, Lily? Just look at this dog right here. Oh my god. But yeah, going back here. $3 for Scribblenauts Unlimited. I did not have this one in the collection, so it'll be nice to have. Lego City Undercover. I actually have this one already on Wii U, but I can give it to someone. And I have it on Switch. I finished it on Switch. Do not recommend the Switch version because the performance is ass. And it's like to be honest, it's the only Switch game I've owned that has crashed multiple times on me. So I don't recommend getting it on Switch, but it was fun for me because I was playing it on the go quite a bit. But $3 for this. Red Dead Redemption, just the original version on Xbox 360, $3 for this. I thought this was fitting because I ended up picking this up like right after Red Dead Redemption 2 was coming out. The original Black Ops on PS3, this was also $3. And right here, or actually, let me double check. Yes, these ones I got from Savers. So this stack was finished, but I went to Savers for these ones. So this was $3. That didn't change. Virtua Tennis 3 for the Xbox 360 was also $3. Pac-Man World 2 on the original Xbox, $3. I actually got these ones today. and Beyond Good and Evil on PS2 for $3. This one really surprised me that I was able to find that. So, kind of going through this was the Saver stack. This is all from the same thrift store right here, and I kind of wanted to tell a story about this as well too, because I thought this was a little bit funny, maybe even not safe for work. So just be careful if you have a I don't know, a weak stomach here. But of course, since this is a thrift store, this is you know, they have everything. They have electronics, they have books, they have CDs, they have clothes and all that. And at one point, when I was waiting in line, because I had all this and I was waiting in line to check out, somebody ended up saying over the intercom, they're just like, hey, sorry to inconvenience everyone, but the dressing rooms, that was it, the dressing rooms are going to be temporarily closed. Again, we apologize for the inconvenience, but they will be closed for, you know, 10, 20, 30 minutes. Then not even 5 minutes later, this woman like came over like just in like a shaky huff, and she ended up getting on the phone, like on the intercom system, and she said, everyone, I'm sorry to announce this, but we are actually going to be closing the dressing rooms for the rest of the day, so we will not be having any fittings. We apologize for this, but we will have them closed today. So she got off the phone there, or the intercom system, and then she ended up telling us in line, she was like, yeah, we can't have anybody in the changing rooms. I apologize. Somebody literally diarrheaed all over the dressing rooms. And this was, the line was divided into about thirds. There was a third of people, such as myself, who were kind of like, okay, that's gross, but that's funny. All right. Another third of people were just like, oh my god, why would you tell us this? And the third of people were so disgusted they just left. Like, there was one girl behind me and she's like, oh my god, that's so disgusting, I'm just gonna I'm gonna be sick. And I think she just went off with her. She didn't even take her carts with her. I found that to be a little funny. But yeah, that's what happened. The same, while I was getting all these games here, this stack of games, somebody literally diarrheaed all over the dressing rooms. I mean, that's what they said. Lily probably enjoyed that story because dogs like poop. But anyways, let's go ahead and move these all over here. Next up, I end up going to another shop and got these. Now, this is just kind of a small haul. I got one other thing here that I'll talk about. This will be later on in this. But end up getting a PlayStation memory card. Whenever I see PS1 and 2 memory cards, I normally like to snag them. I only buy them if they're cheap, and they're always cheap, thankfully. Like, they're no more than $5, I would say. But this was, since this was 10 right here, this is actually half off, so this was only $1. Got Shell Shock NAM 67 on PS2 for $3. I've actually never played this, and it is complete, and it even has like half of, oh no, most of the seal is on there. It's not sealed anymore, but the seal is still there. But the funny thing that I remember about this game, and yes, I do remember something despite never playing it, but I saw on like a official PlayStation Magazine demo disc, it was a first look at this game, and when the developers were commentating over the footage, they said something on the lines of, as you can see in this game, you can use 2 weapons, like you can hold 2 weapons in your inventory, similar to Halo. And I just always found that entertaining, that this was a PS2 exclusive, I believe so, but you know, they were really trying to market this, and it wasn't trying to compete with Halo by any means, but it was in that same realm of somewhat, you know, competing, just because it was a first-person shooter and it was a exclusive to the PS2, and they were shouting out Microsoft's big, you know, killer app exclusive first person. So I always found that to be funny, and that's always what I relate Shell Shock NAM 67 to whenever I see it. And then right here, decided to grab these because they look like they're in solid condition and they're literally brand new. A set of Rocket Fish. I believe that's just one of Best Buy's former brands, but Rocket Fish Wii component cables for $7. Again, a little bit more than what you probably expect to pay. You can get these for $4 or $5, but again, these are brand new, and they looked like really good component cables, so I said, why the hell not? Let's go ahead and grab them. Always good to have some on hand. So ended up grabbing all those there. Now, right over here, this was cool. Now I'm getting into some other shopping. This stuff here was not from a thrift store. This is actually from a vintage stock. So several people know them as, you might know them as vintage stock, you might know them as movie trading company, just depending on where you're located, but the ones near me are called vintage stock. So I decided to go there. I actually had my little brothers with me, and I didn't expect to buy anything. And then I saw these and I got really excited, and I don't know, demo discs are just my weakness, man. Like if I see them, I love to scoop them up. And they're so cheap as well too. They're only like $1 or $2. So in this case, every single one of these was $1. And I have to say, I'm gonna go through these and I'll tell you all when I was really surprised at like what I saw. So going through this, again, this is all from one vintage stock. These were all, you know, the same price, $1 each. Hot Shots Golf 4. And of course all demo discs. Let me, you know what, let me move this. Here we go. So Hot Shots Golf 4, Siphon Filter Dark Mirror, Hot Shots Tennis. I didn't even know this was a game. Damn. Rise to Honor, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. That looks way different than the retail cover. That's crazy. Shadow of Rome, Batman Arkham Origins, Destroy All Humans 2, Driver Parallel Lines, Gladius, Fight Night Round 2, Destroy All Humans, Conan, Frontlines Fuel of War, Facebreaker, SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects, Metal Arms Glitch in the System, and finally, Dead to Rights 2. Now, I'm going to kind of go through the ones that surprised me. So, it was funny because I showed this to one of my friends, one of my best friends, Sean. Big shout out to him. He's been on my main channel at least several times. But, you know, these original Xbox ones, I can totally see. This one, it was funny. I showed him this. He had no idea this game even existed. And I'm like, yeah, dude, and there was a demo for it. So, the Xbox 360 games, some of them I can understand. But a lot of them I was also kind of surprised with. So, like, Frontlines, for example, I was surprised with this because I was thinking that by this point they would just issue digital downloads of demos. And I remember the demo for this coming out. I had no idea why they would press a actual disc of this, but they did. So that's cool. The PS2 games, again, I can totally see that. Some of these I've seen before, many of them I have not. This is the one that was most surprising to me, this Batman Arkham Origins on PS3, because this game came out, let me see when, oh yeah, 2013. So at this point, I was just shocked because I was thinking like there is virtually no reason to press a demo disc in 2013, but they did. And it even, I mean, look at this, it even has exclusive downloadable content. So is this actually, hold on, you know what, I just realized this might be includes, this might actually be the full game. I think I'm just now realizing this. And the reason why I say that is because in the same pile, there were copies of Infamous and Infamous 2. And they were on this same style. They were pressed just like this, same style. And they were the full games, and they were not $1. They were like $8 to $9 each. And they came in the bundle. At one point, there was a bundle of the Infamous games on PS3. And they end up coming in little cheap slip covers like this. But the reason, I mean, I'm led to believe this has to be the real version, like the retail one, excuse me, because it's rated, even though it says not for resale, but it's saying straight up here, it's advertising the downloadable content on this. And this seems to be a straight up final release of it. So you know what, never mind. I actually end up getting 17 demos, and I got a retail PS3 game. I was not expecting that. It's kind of funny. I'm actually slightly disappointed. I wish this, I might be the one person who's thinking this, but I kind of wish this was the demo because it would be cool, but oh well, I guess I got the full game for $1. Screw it, I'll take it. So never mind. I guess I'm not as surprised by that. But yeah, all these other ones I can totally get. I guess I'm more surprised again with kind of some of the later release Xbox 360 titles. But even so, this was like maybe 2008, 2009 on those ones. So yeah, and I ended up, hey, we just discovered it right here. I got a full retail version of Batman. Fantastic. So we ended up also going to some other thrift shops, and right here, decided, screw it, let's get Guitar Hero 2 just for giggles, because I don't have the guitar instruments anymore, but you can play Guitar Hero 2 and 3 with a controller, and it's actually really fun to play, admittedly. Seems kind of silly, but really just think of it like a rhythm game, like Frequency or Amplitude on the PS2. But this was $375 after the discount. This here, Far Cry Instincts and Predator. I think that, yeah, 2 games in 1. There we go. This was $250. Then I ended up grabbing some Red vs. Blue DVDs, and these were like $1.50 each. So this is Red vs. Blue Season 3, Red vs. Blue Season 2, and the best Red vs. Blue DVD ever of all time. Did not know about this, but awesome. And finally, the last thrift shop that we all went to together was, we got Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2 on the PS2. This one I think might have been the most expensive game I paid for as well, at a whopping $4. But screw it, decided to get it. And funny enough, it was actually at a thrift store that I don't frequent and is normally really bad with game selection, but they had a game. So I said, screw it, let's get it. Let's go to a Lily break. How's it going, Lily? You are always tired during these, my god. But she's happy. Look at her, she's happy. Anyways, we're getting into some of the last territory here, some of the last stuff. So. This stuff here was not so much thrift shop stuff at all. One of them was, and I'll get into it, but this is now getting into my Black Friday pickups. And I debated if I wanted to include these, because I was thinking of excluding Black Friday pickups and just putting them all in the next episode I do, because I'm still waiting on some stuff. But I figured, you know what, I'll show you guys what I have right now, and then when the next episode comes about, I'll show you the rest of the stuff that I'm getting in the mail. So we're still waiting on a few things. But either way, let's go ahead and show you all what I had gotten. So the fun thing is with Black Friday, I feel like you don't even really need to explain it as much now, because it happens in the US. It would historically happen the day after Thanksgiving, just where everything is super cheap. And then Black Friday turned into Black Friday weekend, and then it turned into Black Friday week, and then Cyber Monday came about, and then that became Cyber Monday week. And then there's even places that do this, you know, for the full month. So the thing is, now at this point, you kind of have about 2 weeks of really good deals, as opposed to 1 or 2 days how it used to be. But either way, I ended up getting a bunch of stuff, and one cool thing is, this year, I didn't go to any physical stores for my Black Friday shopping. There was one store that I would have had to go to physically, but thankfully, some of my friends were really awesome about this, and I ended up they had to go anyways, and I was just like, hey, can you buy these things for me and I pay you back? And they were totally cool about it. So, getting into all this here, you know what, let's go through this stack first, because this one's closer. So I got Star Wars Battlefront 2 on the Xbox One for $8. I thought that was a pretty solid deal. And mainly I got this for my younger brothers. One of them is really into Star Wars Battlefront. He loves the first one, so I ended up getting him this one right here. So I got 2 copies of it. One of them I no longer have because it's his, but $8 for this. I figured I'd get myself a copy as well. This, I ended up getting, I was happy with this deal finally. I still have not played SpiderMan, but I actually found it on eBay. It was all discounted for Black Friday, and it was from a seller that apparently they do manufacture refurbished games. I don't get it, because there's not too much to refurbish, but all I can tell you is I bought 2 games from this guy, and both of them, they came, you know, resealed and everything. Not like factory sealed, obviously, they were pre-owned, but they both look brand new. This and Bloodborne I got. I'm not including Bloodborne in here, but I ended up paying $35 for this, which I was totally happy to pay. Burnout Paradise Remastered, I got for $10. Prey, I got this for $10. This, another copy of Red Dead Redemption, but funny enough, I don't have the Game of the Year edition. I have, obviously, you know, the Xbox 360, like the regular edition. I have the Undead Nightmare expansion, but this one here, it's interesting. So, with this, the retail game, the full retail game is on one disc. Then the full expansion is on another disc, but it's standalone. On this one here, it's still 2 discs, but they ended up slipstreaming the content into one another. So I've never played through the Game of the Year edition, but it has all the content dispersed throughout both discs. I don't know how it works, but okay. But yeah, I don't have the Game of the Year edition, and on top of that, I don't have any of these funky Xbox One, Xbox 360, you know, re-released, backwards compatible, repackaged games. So I end up grabbing this just to, you know, have it in the collection, but $8 for this. Zone of the Enders, the second runner, Mars. This made me happy because when I bought this, by the way, this is 20 bucks, but when I bought this, I was like, okay, you know, this is PSVR, cool, whatever. I'll dig out the headset for this. And then when I bought it, I ended up seeing that it said mode included, which means this is not a PSVR exclusive game, which makes me happy. So if you want to play Zone of the Enders, the second runner on PS4, like you want to play the remastered version, don't worry, you don't need PSVR. You could play it just fine with a controller, thankfully. Yeah, it even says, yeah, enhance your gameplay with PSVR. It's not a requirement. That made me quite happy because I like to have options on there. But this is 20 bucks. And finally, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition. This one comes bundled with a whole bunch of DLC. One of my friends definitely recommended it, and he's a big Final Fantasy 15 guy, and he ended up rebuying it because it came with all the DLC and such that he was wanting. So I decided to get it as well too, because it was 20 bucks. So that was kind of a mix of pretty much kind of going through this, a mix of Best Buy purchases, an eBay purchase, and I ended up getting Prey through GameFly. Do not sleep on GameFly. GameFly is absolutely fantastic to get some really good deals on games with, because you essentially, if you don't know what GameFly is, you rent games through there through the mail, and sometimes they'll do sales where you can purchase a game. Now the cool thing with it is, I'll just do this as an example, when you rent a game through GameFly, all they give you is the disc, that's it. So you get the disc and that's it. Now when you buy it, they end up taking the disc and they put it into its original case with its original artwork, with its original manual, if that's included in 2018, and any original DLC the game came with. So at that point, you're pretty much getting a opened brand new game, because most games are in solid condition, and if something is scratched or if the case is messed up or if there's some other issue, you can contact GameFly support and they always come through. I actually had some games one year where I picked them up and they got really delayed, and when they came, the cases looked like they were eaten. So I contacted GameFly and they said, hey, yeah, just go ahead, keep those cases. We're going to send you 2 new ones. Sorry about the trouble. There's no extra charge. So if your game doesn't work, if your game is scratched up, if your case and artwork is in bad condition, just contact them and they will sort you out. I know some people don't want to do the used game thing, but I always try, like when I get into this, I always say, hey, try and give GameFly an exception, because they're like new used games. It's pretty much you're getting a like the packaging and everything is going to be new. It's just opened, and the game will either be in great condition, or if it's in condition, you can get it repaired. But I'm just saying, don't sleep on those GameFly pre-owned pickups, because you'll also get good deals on them. So here I end up getting a few other games. Now this grabbed from Walmart, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which by the way, Walmart's site is absolute shit, and I find it hilarious. I find it absolutely hilarious that they are trying to seriously compete with Amazon, because oh man, their site was when there's a lot of traffic, their site just melts down hard and it implodes onto itself. And Amazon really doesn't do that for the most part. Yes, there's been times where it's gone down, but my god, it wasn't like Walmart's site where it was just broken for hours on end. So Walmart, if you're wanting to seriously compete with Amazon, oh man, you have a lot of catching up to do. But when I was able to finally purchase something, I ended up getting, again, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for $35 on the Switch. I've heard great things about it, so I decided to pick it up. Rocket League. I got the Ultimate Edition of this. I think there's like 3 versions of it now. I think there's the regular edition. If there's not the regular edition, there's the collector's edition, which has a bunch of DLC, and there's the Ultimate Edition, which has everything. And this I ended up picking up for $20 from Best Buy. LA Noire, I actually ended up purchasing twice, because big shout outs to my homie Sean here. I ended up picking this up from Best Buy originally for 20 bucks. Now, GameStop was selling this for 10. So that was one of the things I hit him up about. I was like, hey, if you're going to go to GameStop, because he goes there every year, regardless, for Black Friday and Thanksgiving shopping. I was like, hey, if they have any copies of LA Noire on Switch, can you buy one for me and I'll pay you back? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So he ended up buying one. And then when he got that, I ended up just returning the one I got from Best Buy. So on purpose, I ended up keeping it shrink wrapped. And the reason why I did that is because Best Buy was selling this for 20 bucks, which I was okay with, but GameStop was selling it for 10. And if I can get the same game for even less, hey, I'm gonna do it. So $10 for LA Noire in the end. Overcooked 2 on Switch. This was 30, and it was a little bit more than I wanted to pay. But I'll tell you, this game is so fun. My girlfriend and I played it for about an hour or two, and oh my god, we had such fun playing this game. I can definitely recommend this if you have a good co-op partner that you're going to work with. But you need to communicate. You all need to communicate. Oh man, it's a fun game though. Highly recommend it. I also, funny enough, I listened to a podcast. This is just the last thing I want to say about it. I picked this up and I didn't pick up the first one because I'd listened to a podcast. It was the Nintendo Power podcast where they had the developers of Overcooked 2 on here, and they just talked about the game and how they worked on the first one and they enjoyed it, and then they just made the second one so much better, and they talked about all the improvements. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hop right into the second one, because from what I heard from the developers, they just took the first one and made everything better for the second one. So I'm going to kind of spoil myself and just play, you know, the second one here. Now this, I already opened it, so I can't really take it back, unfortunately. Hello Neighbors seemed interesting. I don't know too much about it, and then I found out the Switch port is not the best, and also ended up going on a deeper sale later on, but whatever, sometimes that happens. I got it for 30 bucks. I figured, you know what, I'll play it, I'll enjoy it, but we'll see how it is. And honestly, when it came down to it, a lot of the complaints I was seeing was about the AI, and with me not being the best at sneaky-based games, I will take a dumb AI. I'm totally cool with that. Just that's our secret. And finally, this I would say was a pretty solid deal here. I end up getting the StarLink Battle for Atlas, which is pretty much just a new Star Fox game. But the StarLink Battle for Atlas Beginners Bundle, or Starter Pack, I guess that's what it's called. This is not a second copy of the game. This one just came included in here. This was all $35. So I was actually surprised with this because this whole bundle is, I want to say, $75 retailed, and I'm so glad I held off on it. I just decided to hold off for a little bit. I didn't pay that much attention, and all of a sudden I saw people selling this for $40, $35. Even a few days ago, I saw this now on sale for $32. So the game seemed to review well enough, but I guess it's just not moving units all that well if it's already below the half price point. And it's a big package as well too. It's not just like a little game like this. Like, look, it's physical stuff. But oh well, decided to pick that up, $35. We'll give that a shot. And finally, I end up getting a few consoles here. Check it out. I end up getting these two. So I guess with this one, they're both Xbox 360s. They're both slim consoles. And let me move this guy over. There we go. This one here I end up getting from a thrift shop, and I was really surprised with this. Not only this was the first Xbox 360e series console that I'd seen available at a thrift shop, but even the price of it right here, if we look, 15 bucks. Now I did not pay $15. This was actually a half price deal. So I paid $7.50 for this console right here. Now, it definitely, as you can see, looks like it's seen better days. First of all, I don't know what's going on with the disk drive, but it looks like I'm willing to bet there was a disk stuck in there, and whoever the previous owner was like putting in pins and stuff to try and shove the disk tray open. I think, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but like, that seems to be moving around. I don't know, it seems to be making more noise than it should. It does not have a hard drive on it, and it looks a little bit dirty just from, you know, kind of checking it out and everything on the sides. But unfortunately, the thing is, I can't test if this thing is working yet, because unfortunately, take a look at this. On the E models, they ended up changing the PSU plug right there, and I don't have one. like that, unfortunately. I don't. So I end up buying a couple adapters online for it, which are just the FAT adapter to E series. I have a couple FAT adapter to S series, like FATs to S series, you know, PSU adapters that work flawlessly, so these should be the same. But I'm not gonna know if this even works until, you know, crunch time, so I'm not messing with it yet. I haven't tried to do anything with it. I haven't even opened it because I want to see, first of all, if the damn thing works and see what we can do with it from there. But yeah, the nice thing is with this is a Corona model, and it is not a Winchester board, meaning that I can RGH this system. I have not done a Corona myself. They can be annoying, but it's possible to do them. But either way, this is a Corona model of the Xbox 360, and because it's not the final one, which is the Winchester, it can still be RGH'd, and even if I want to, I can go all out and get a unlocked drive, and then, well, unlocked PCB board, and install it into the disk drive, and then have a flash disk drive that way. So we'll see what we do. And what I find funny is, like, this thing is honestly in shit condition, but whoever owned it before was sure to keep the sticker on there. So yeah, $750 for this, I certainly don't mind. So you know what, Lily? You can now have that Xbox. There you go. So that's going to be her Xbox. And this, I guess, will be my Xbox. So GameStop ended up doing a encore of the deal they did last year, which, if you do not know, GameStop had a deal in which last year you could get a Xbox 360 core unit that was just a fat Xbox 360 without a without a hard drive for $60, and then you could get a $60 mail-in rebate for that. That was during Black Friday. So you pay $60 plus tax, and then you submit the rebate, and then a few months later, you get a Visa gift card back for $60. Well, I actually ended up doing that last year, and I really enjoyed that, because, I mean, one, it's free Xbox 360, and two, because of that video, because of that console, that propelled my channel and grew it out so much this year in 2018. That video has over 1 million views that I used the Xbox 360 on, the one that I got from GameStop. And you know what, without that, I wouldn't have been able to do that video, so shout out to GameStop on that one. Now, funny thing I want to tell you, and by the way, this deal, before I start going down memory lane, this deal was just an upgraded version. This was, you could get a refurb fat, like, slim Xbox 360. So this is a Xbox 360 S model for $70 plus tax, and then you fill in the mail-in rebate. They say mail-in rebate, but it's not. It's an online rebate. Either way, you fill out the rebate online, you submit it, it gets processed. A few months later, you get a gift card back for $70. So last year's Xbox 360 in the end ends up costing you like $5 or $6. This year, this Xbox 360 is going to cost me like $6 or $7 because you get that Visa prepaid card. But funny enough, that's the thing I actually want to mention. So it's funny because there's been, you know, a lot of people that are just haters, I guess, on the big video that I did, you know, the one where essentially I looked at that Xbox, I opened it up and showed the condition and everything and determined if it'd be worth getting one and all that fun stuff. But yeah, there were a lot of people that were just like, why would you buy an Xbox 360? Why would you pay money for this? Why would you waste money on that? Well, there were two reasons. One, I mean, I kind of clearly said in the video that I got the money back. You know, in total, I'm out $6, let's say, because I don't get tax back. I had to pay 60 plus tax, and they only give me 60 back. And number two, that was more of an investment, if anything, with the way it turned out for me, because, you know, no secret, I have monetization on my channel. I'm saying this as humbly as possible, but you know, I upload a video with that Xbox 360 taken apart. It gets over 1 million views. I think it's safe to say that I definitely made my money back on that Xbox 360. But funny enough, as I mentioned, the $60 rebate, I never got it. I never got that $60. And when I was doing this, I decided, you know what, let's try this again. But I decided to file this rebate, and I decided to follow up on my old rebate. And it took a few tries, and I had to find the specific customer service number for GameStop rebates and their cards and all that stuff, because you can't call the GameStop customer service, but you also can't call the rebate customer service. You have to call a different number from within that. And when I called them, they were actually really awesome about it. I verified all that information, and then they ended up saying, oh, hey, yeah, it looks like right here you have, like, we can verify your card got shipped out back in April. And that was another thing. So I filed it in November, and then something happened and it didn't process correctly, but they never notified me. So I had to check it manually. And then at that point, I had to, you know, go in, correct my mistakes, and refile it. So it took even longer to get. But they said like April 15th, they ended up sending the thing out, and I never got it. Like, it was at the end of November I made this call, and I told them, like, hey guys, I never got it. And they even looked it up. They're like, okay, yeah, we can verify we sent out this card to you. We can verify it's activated. But we can also verify that you never used the money. There's still $60 right there. So what we're going to do is we're not going to charge you anything extra, because it's not really fair since you didn't lose your card. You never even got it to begin with. But we're going to send out a new replacement card to whatever address you want. When you get that card, please try to use it as soon as possible, because after 6 months, we start deducting fees from there as maintenance fees. However, if you do get your card, and it was in December I got it, but I said, you know what, if you do get your card and you find any money has been taken out due to maintenance fees, please give us a call, because we start deducting money if you haven't used it within 6 months of it being issued. But the problem is you haven't had it for the past 6 months, so we would be willing to reverse any changes. And worst case, it would have been a $3 fee. It's like $3 for every single month it gets reversed. Oh, it gets taken out. But yeah, no, I finally got the card for that, and I immediately spent it. What I do with those prepaid gift cards, which is a tip to you all, if you all use Amazon, go in and refill your gift card balance, and then do it for the full amount of whatever card you have. So what I did is I added that card onto my account. I charged, you know, the full $60, and I just essentially transferred the $60 from the card onto my Amazon account. And then from there, you have $60 in Amazon that you could use for whatever you want to, and you kill off your card that way. So you could either use that money immediately, or you could use it in 8 months and you don't have to worry about it as long as you still have access to your account. That's what I can recommend for you all. But yeah, thank you GameStop for doing that. In the end, I did get my money, so I have some more hope about this, and I'm really happy that even though they do mess up on several things, they're not the best corporation for many, many different reasons. They came through. They don't fuck around with that money when it comes to that. When it comes to issuing a rebate, they will make it right. And I have to say, I was impressed at that, because I thought they were just going to say, well, you know what, too bad, so sad, you already filed this, it's been over 6 months, we don't have to help you anymore. But no, they really helped out. So anyways, that was it. That's all I got for this episode here. I say all I got quite a bit here. I have quite a lot of stuff to dig into. As you can see, some of it's open, some of it's not. And I have a sleepy dog right there who I probably need to get to bed. So anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, a like would absolutely be appreciated. If you didn't like it, a dislike is fine as well too. And if you've made it all the way to the end, let me know what you think of the new camera and microphone as well. I'm using a different mic and I'm using a different camera, both of which I also got these for Black Friday. And they weren't really Black Friday deals. It was more I've been wanting to get them for a bit, and I found a good bundle. And it didn't go on sale, but eBay had a 15% off coupon, so I decided to get it. But yeah, I think we should be good. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. And goodbye, Lily.